This is take 2, it's the second try. My apologies for... and now he's blowing outside. Okay, so I thought we would start by doing our magical tea that we prepared in the last episode that we were on. In the room, we made the magical tea for monies and money riches. So, in our magical teapot, and I've got the blender here, and we've got a couple of different elements that we're going to be using in the kitchen. Alex is right outside of the window using a blower, so I'm glad nobody's here yet. Ah, Lunia! Hi, darling! So, earlier today, and I'm talking really loud because Alex is right outside using the blower. I guess he thought that that would be a good idea to do right now. Moon Tiger's Path, hi! So here I've got the herbs that we used. We made a tea for monies. And while we're waiting for people to come on, I thought we would get our money tea ready. I've got my little teapot here that Alex made me from Jugshy Farms that I love so much. And on one side we have the money incense, and on one side we have the money tea. And this bowl I use a lot for the cleverness of it. Like, you can do 2 things at once within this bowl, and I really like it. It's a hobsnail depression glass, I believe. I could be wrong, but I really adore it. So I'm going to put all those things in the teapot. Let's get our angle here. Now, you could make your tea even more magical by using moon water, or new moon water, full moon water, or just regular moon water. But let's get these lovely tea ingredients we made. We've got the blood oranges and the regular oranges. We've got clover. Oranges. We've got oats. We've got basil. We've got allspice. We've got cinnamon. We've got almonds. We have chamomile and clove. Lots of lovely things in there for monies. Oh, and dill. There's dill in there. Hold on just a minute. So we've got those in our teapot, and then I'm just going to get the water boiling. He's got his earmuffs on and he can't hear a damn thing out there. Alright, so let's get the water going. Hey, babe! Okay, so I just used the Capresso teapot. I like it because it's glass, and it takes a really short time to heat up, and also it doesn't boil to the point where it burns your mouth. So I don't use tap water. I have a big giant jug of water that I get from my mother's well, and we keep 2 of those in the house at a time. Ah! See? No tap water. And I take this out in the moonlight, so technically it's moon water, and the moon shines down through it. Sometimes I put my pearl necklace on the top to make it an elixir. You can do things as easy as this for your drinking water and make the whole entire thing moon water, you guys. So we have 2 of these, and between the plants and ourselves and using this water to boil with and everything else, coffee, tea, everything, we go through about 1 of these every other day with the plants too. Jenna Quinn, hi! Good morning from your end of the world. Where are you, Jenna? I forget. Are you across the pond? So we have our money tea that we made in the last video into the teapot. Lots of lovely things in there. And then I'm going to get this set to boil. And like I say, it really doesn't take long. It takes a couple of minutes. And my husband promises he'll be done with the blower in a little bit. So there's two books that we're kind of like talking out of today, but they're one and the same, sadly. I thought they would be two different books, but we've got The Magic in Food by Scott Cunningham and Wicca in the Kitchen by Scott Cunningham. This is the revised edition of this. I didn't know, but I still want to have both because that's me. Thank you! We rent Tasmania! That's amazing, Jenn. Oh yeah, you did tell me that, and I believe you sent me some pictures, didn't you? I love Tasmania. I feel like, to me, it's just so like gothic and interesting, and for a lot of us who are interested in the occult and things like that, it's a really fun topic. So let's talk about, so our tea is brewing, that's over here, it's almost done. Down here, I've got some stuff prepped for what we're making for food and that. So, I have some moonstone elixir. It's actually moon water, but I just put moonstone and copper there to just enhance the water. And I try and use as many magical waters as I can because I'm trying to gain weight. And so those magical intentions I put into this water in particular. This jug is what I soak my fruits in and stuff. So this is moon water, and it's an elixir as well, and I'm soaking the grapes in here. There's so many pesticides on grapes that I'm really trying to get a good soak on those. Grapes are one of the 3 ingredients, okay, and we're going to talk about the magical properties of all the ingredients in this as we go through the video. So the grapes are soaking in moon water, and I've just kind of set my intentions to get as many pesticides off of there as I can and be clean throughout my body. And then I want to show you passion fruit. Now, passion fruit we use a lot in magic because passion stuck right to the name of it. They are an ugly fruit. Now, when you first get them, they're not wrinkly like this, okay? When they're wrinkly, basically the uglier they look, the better. That's when they're going to taste good and be ready. So these are 2 passion fruits. This one's really quite large. This is probably a more common size. Hi, Witchy Sissy Q. Nice to see you. So here's passion fruits, but the taste is... Oh, thank you, Life of Redo. I appreciate it really a lot. So the taste is almost the same whether you pay $7 per fruit, so this would be $14, or whether you pay $5 for the bag of 6 whole frozen fruits, okay? So the taste is about the same. So we use these during the winter and these during the summer when they're more prevalent. These are completely frozen. I need to get those thawing out in some water from that jug. I don't use tap water for anything except doing dishes, guys. That's pretty much it. And even then, I dry them off after they're clean. I'm very, particular about my water. So I'm putting water over these passion fruits so that they'll defrost. And they don't take long once you get them out of the bag and you start working with them. Now you may have noticed I have red as a color theme here, okay? Red bowl, red cutting board, passion fruits. This yogurt is going to be for passion. So, and again, we're going to read the magical properties of grapes, of coconuts, and of passion fruits. I have done so many videos on the magical properties of coconuts that it's wild. I think I've done 3 or 4 and they're like half-hour videos. But I don't think I've done grapes, and I know that I've done passion fruit. So I've done 2 of them, but we'll talk about the properties of grapes too and see how this 3-ingredient magical yogurt will help us. So let's get back down here and I'll show you how we're going to prepare these foods. Got jars to store them in for after. When I do up a big batch like this, I really like to make a big batch and then maybe put it into 12 small jars and eat it throughout the week. But generally it doesn't last in my fridge for more than a day or two, and I'll eat a jar or two at a time, so I just have been putting them in bigger jars. Hi Erica! I saw you join when I tried the first time, but nobody showed up, so then I sent out a Skype message and I came back, so sorry I didn't say hello the first time. I was on my way out. So the theme is red, you know? Passion. The book is even red. So let's cut open this bowl, or this bag. And we'll get the fruits in directly into the water, because they're completely frozen, so I need to get them thawing out. These are a different variety that actually have a bit of green on them, or they weren't fully ripe when they went into freeze. Either way, I know that these taste good because I've had them before, and you'd be surprised. At some point I'll show you a dehydrated one of these next to a dehydrated one of these. You can't really tell too much difference, but that's, in the taste is where it really counts, and the taste, I just can't find the difference. So I know that fresh is better than frozen, so I just have these kind of in there like we were bobbing for passion fruits instead of bobbing for apples. Should I do it? It didn't work, but my nose got wet. So there's those frozen passion fruits. Those are just drying out. And like I say, the ones that are darker purple were probably ones that got riper in the real world, whereas next to this one, I don't think so. It doesn't even look like the same fruit. So I'm excited to taste the difference between the two of those, but the other 5 look really, really nice. Water on my nose, that's fun. Hello to everyone that is here. So the biggest feat of this whole cooking, because it's a raw food, we're not cooking anything, we're just putting it together. The whole feat is opening the coconuts and getting those open and getting the meat out and the juice out. Now you have to remember you need to save the water because that's a crucial element to this. When I did the video the last time, I drank the water and I forgot to save it, and it turned into like pudding rather than yogurt. You need that young Thai coconut water. And if you are trying to bulk up as a raw foodist or as a vegan or just as somebody who's a vegetarian or whatever, this is a really good way with young Thai coconuts because each one has like, well, it depends on the size of it and the amount of water and all of that, but between 700 to 1050 calories per piece. So if I eat 3 of them, I'm doing my 3,000 calories a day, plus whatever I add into it. Thanks, Lunaya. I really appreciate it. Do you, Erica? I need to. And it's not even about, because I was on that weight loss journey for a while, and then now it's like, be careful what you wish for. The Life of Redo wants to know if you can freeze. Oh, this? I've not tried it before. I'm trying to think if it would ruin the texture of the coconut or anything. The only thing I think it might mess up would be the texture of the grapes, but you could freeze it without the grapes and then add the grapes fresh later. That's probably what I would say out of this. You could, but I would add the grapes fresh. You freeze yogurt in the summer? Okay, that's awesome. And are you from the UK, Life of Redo? I'm only asking because you spell yogurt the way that I do. Yogurt. Like the Australian way. Okay, so basically while these are defrosting, thawing, etc., in their little bowl, I'm going to start cutting open these young Thai coconuts. Once I start cutting open these young Thai coconuts, I'm not going to be able to reply as quickly, but I will still be able to get to your replies. Ooh, look at that. Fantastic.
Are you seeing? Yeah, I'm seeing.
Need that.
Alright, I'll install that in a little bit.
Yeah, in a while.
Yeah, you said in a little bit.
I'll do the dishes in a minute. So our tea is done. Let's pour that super quick. Remember we have this tea that we made in the last episode? We put it together for monies. Okay? And in the beginning of this episode I did say what was in there. As you're pouring the water in, really focus on your magical intention, okay? Okay, we'll see you in a little bit, Life of Redo. Please bring money to this home. Money is needed in this home. Please keep money in abundance and fluidity. So mote it be. So that is just going to sit there and muddle and chill and be amazing. Completely herbal tea that we made. Every single ingredient is a money attracting herb or fruit or whatever. And we also made that money incense, didn't we? Which is right here. And it just had more of the things that we couldn't add to the tea, but I kept them separated. Alright, so the tea is brewing. It's back here. Don't let me forget about it, you guys. If we forget about it, it just won't be as warm, but that's okay. So it's back there, it's chilling. Remind me in like 7 or 8 minutes to grab that. So I save these for my fruit rack because fruit can easily get bruised on the rack. So I lay this down like this. That way when you go to take your grapefruit and whatnot, it doesn't get a bunch of lines on it from them. It's just like a soft cushion, you know. I don't think that the styrofoam resonates really well, but neither does the plastic the fruit comes in, you know. So we just hold our magical intention on it after that. To be clean, and here's some potpourri Alex made that's just lovely. Smell, you guys. Smell. It smells so good. All of his little trimmings and bits and bobs. So anyway, as you can see, we have a little bit of this up there just to keep our fruit from being damaged and things like that. So let's cut into these coconuts. Let me show you, if you cut into them the right way, what you can end up with. Hi, Joyce. Luna, I'll tell Alex you said hi. Let me go grab the coconuts and I'll be right back. You guys, I want to show you what you can make if you cut these open cleverly enough. Now it takes a long time to get all of this white shell off to the fact that you get underneath to the beautiful young Thai coconut actual shell. But I make floating bath candles out of these and they're absolutely beautiful. Coconuts are a cleansing fruit. They're excellent for cleansing. So if you're making up a cleansing bath, these will literally float in the tub with you with a tea light inside. And I did a video up all on these. So I always cut these in the knowing that I'm going to be either making this out of it, or the other thing I make out of it is, where is that cut? If you cut the opening small enough, and granted it's really hard to get the coconut out at this point. Hi, Redman! You know my sugar glider over here? I have an Australian sugar glider. Well, he lives in this little coconut hut, and it's made out of a coconut shell. but the opening's really small. So I made these little coconut huts that you can put a string on and have your animals, you know, just like sugar gliders mainly, but, or little birds might like that, I don't know. You could make a birdhouse out of these, just get creative. But depending on how you cut the coconut will be, just think you can use this for every single bit of this coconut. Even the shreds that I take off from the outside, I use that as packing material or potpourri. This smells like rice milk. The outside of the coconut smells like this brilliant, sugary rice milk. There's nothing about this fruit that I'm not attracted to, or nut, or seed. It's actually a seed. There's nothing about this that I'm not completely drawn to. Coconut spell holder, yep, I sure did. I did a whole working in this coconut shell, and then I wrapped it up with all these straps that had words on them from a t-shirt I cut up, and I buried it below my house, and it was for protection, to keep away people that I didn't want. So I loaded this up with dry herbs, just like we do with this, but the intentions were different. And the intentions that we get from this book, I chose protection. And I filled this with protection herbs. Then I cut up a t-shirt, and I wrote a bunch of words on it. This house is protected from evil, no evil eye, all the law of attraction. Tied up the herbs in the coconut shell. It was just looked like a bunch of t-shirt straps, and I buried it in the ground. There's so much you can do with these. Jen, how many coconuts do you go through a week? When I was on the raw foods diet completely, I ate 2 of these a day, but that's only because it's all I could afford. Right now, I probably, for a treat, get 3 a week and make up a big yogurt like this, or just eat them, or make, I did a recipe where I make noodles out of the coconut. So in this video, I'll show, I'm like, it's echoing. Listen, it echoes, it echoes. So I did an episode where you can make noodles out of young Thai coconuts if you get them out of there clever enough. So if you guys have a Vitamix, and I'm not a promoter of Vitamix, I think that you should just spend a little bit of money and get the Ninja, the $100 instead of the $800 on a blender. I don't know, you guys. But, you know, if you have one, that's awesome. If you have a Vitamix, but don't feel like you have to go spend that kind of money. The Ninja has stood up the test of time for me, you know. It blends ice amazingly well, all of it. What was the question I was answering? How many do I go through a week? So yeah, it used to be 2 a day, but I could eat more than that. But we can't afford to do that anymore, so we just like do what we can, and for a treat have these as often as we can, because they're brilliant. So you can make noodles out of them, like udon noodles, and I make a cold udon noodle soup on my channel and all that. So, okay. So right now I've got a bunch of these saved. Like I say, one will be a little sugar glider hut, and one is for those, most of them are for the floating bath candles with the tea light. As you can see, what I mean when I say some calorie counts will be different in these, look how small this one was and how big this one is, you know. So you never know on the calorie count. You always want to assume that you're going to have less calories with these. Shauna, hello! Yes, hi to everyone. Okay, so I dry these over the house vent to get them completely dry, and then I decoupage them with Mod Podge. You know, not decoupage, I Mod Podge them to seal them, and then I put the tea light in and I let them float in the bath, and they're just beautiful. Very cleansing. Hmm? Oh, they're up here. Haircut looks nice. Oh yeah, everybody said hi. Okay, so there's my box of coconuts. But I used to get young Thai coconuts by the case. And because there's only 9 in a case. And the cases are huge. Because look how big they are, you know. So 9 in a case, I used to pay I found them organic for like $35 for 9 of them. But now I find them pretty cheap for $2.50 a piece, but they're not organic. If you get organic, generally they're about $5 a piece. It just depends on how strict your diet is, you know, and what you can afford at the time. I try and do as much organic as I can, but when you can afford it, do it. When you can't, just try and do fruit, you know. I don't know what to say. I wish I could do organic 24/7. I really do, because I know the benefits. I know how amazingly brilliant it is for your body, and I know how I feel when I do that diet. But let's get back down here. And again, well, first I want to bring up a really quick point that I'm not sure if a lot of you guys know about. These books have a lot of the same things, but different wordage for them. Why? Because this book, the green book, is talking about, thank you, Red Man, you're the best. I really mean that. You really lighten my day every time you show up. This book is the magical intentions. So when you're not eating it, when you're using it outside of the inside of the body. So non-ingestion, right? Magical workings, candles, incenses, oil lamps, that's the green book. But the red book, because you'll be like, why does he say mango about this and it doesn't make sense? Because the magical intentions are different than when you eat it, the ingestion, like the magical things that happen when you ingest it are different. So remember, the red book is when you eat it, and the green book is pretty much everything else, yeah? So, there's that. Also, this book, Magic and Food, Ingesting. If you're hoping to find these books thrifted, please go to Thrift Books. Get the app, Thrift Books. THRIFTBOOKS, all one word. Generally, and that's where I got this book. You can get the green book and the red book there. There's always loads of copies and you're going to get it less. It's just used, you know. And if you don't care because you're thrifting it, so please find Thrift Books. I'm sure there's better apps out there, but I don't know them. Kristen, hi! So happy that you're here. I love your little icon with just your glass eye. Be Young, hi darling. Oh, you're waiting for your Van and Firestone. Awesome. Well, you may have seen this episode, but we're redoing it. We're making the young Thai coconut yogurt with the grapes and the passion fruit. And sadly, we're talking about the fact that these two books are exactly the same, except one's the revised edition and one's the older one. But I'm still glad I have both. Yummy! It's so good. And now, you guys, if you wanted to make it real yogurt, you would add a probiotic capsule. And you can get those at the specialty grocery stores that have vitamins and stuff. It's just probiotic in a capsule. You take one and you put it in the yogurt. It will sour when you leave it on the counter. Yes, time for tea. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, thank you. So you can make this into an actual yogurt, but the reason I call it a yogurt is because of like the texture and the consistency, and it just feels like eating a cold little yogurt. But really it's probably more of a like fruit salad. Okay, so let's look at the tea. And are you guys excited for teas to go up on the Etsy shop? That Joy tea yesterday. So I'm really smelling the clove, the cinnamon, and the orange. Oh boy. And the clover is shining through as well. Oh my gosh. Oh, for peanut sakes. You're so beautiful. So now just put your magical intentions over here, right? And I feel honestly that when I hold intentions with all these rings and stuff and all these stones, and I am particular to just keep silver on my hands and stuff like that, I feel like that is magical. I feel like when I'm saying my voice over these beautiful stones and metals into the tea, that something really beautiful happens. Hi, Gypsy Lee. Hey, I loved your ASMR eggshells. Every time I grind eggshells in the mortar and pestle, I'm like, people would love this for ASMR. It's just so good. So I'm holding intentions over this money tea, and I'm really visualizing that money coming in, okay? Alex, everybody likes your teapot. Everything that you make is wonky, but that's why I like it. It doesn't leak, and it holds heat. So there's a nice color to it. It's a dark yellow, light orange, Lovely. And the tea, he built it with a little strainer on the inside so that we could use loose leaf teas in here. I don't know if we'll be able to see it. Let's see. See, right there? That's the strainer that he made out of clay. I mean, I really think that that's, babe, that's pretty amazing that you did that. Was this class 1 or 2 that you did this? 2? Yeah. So this was his advanced class.
Actually, no,
but
that's not true. That was the last project on the first class.
Okay, last project of the first class of pottery, but it works really well. I like it a lot. So, really good color, and we just made this tea from all the things on my beautiful cabinet, right? Okay, so this one tastes good. The first taste I get in my head is ribbon candy. Do you guys remember old school ribbon candy that may have been on like your grandma's shelf or something like that? Or like in a bowl at your grandma's, and it might have been there like for 3 years just sitting on the coffee table, but it tastes like ribbon candy, and I'm getting that clove and that orange and this like sugary element. I don't know how to explain it. It just tastes like candy. You want to taste this really quick and tell me if you think it tastes good? He's not even a huge fan of tea, but I think that he'll like this. No, it really does taste like ribbon candy. And I think the allspice is doing it too, like with the clove. On the sides of your tongue, that's where you taste the ribbon candy. Really awesome. Yeah. I set them here. I have to say it. I even like this one maybe as much as the Joy Tea. Like, this is really good. Yeah, tastes like ribbon candy. Don't really know how else to say it. Jenn are both books exactly alike. Yeah. I've looked at 10 different pages. Like, they're not the exact same page number. Because there's a couple revisions, like a couple little things.
Where'd they go?
I just was showing them, but I'm not going to cut into it. No, because I'm doing the frozen ones. Look at this one. There's not even any red. We're going to see how different it tastes from this one. Yeah, just right. So, where was I at? Ribbon candy. Will you taste this?
Yeah.
When you come in front of the camera and taste it. So Alex is not a big tea guy, and he also likes sweet things. I want to note that because I think this tea tastes sweet on its own.
That's a really good smell.
It's not as. Do you like it more than like the teas you've had before without sugar? There's no sugar in it.
Yeah, I mean, for not having sugar, it's good.
Yeah, for not having sugar. So that's why I'm proud of this, because a lot of herbal teas, especially ones we make for magic or medicinal, they don't taste the greatest, but we just kind of choke them down like we do a tincture or anything else. This actually tastes good. I feel like we're really blessed to have you guys here with us helping us with these teas, because we're deciding together, you know. What kind of tea is it? King Good Lord, I'll try and run down the list of things, but I haven't written them down because, no, I prefer tea unsweetened as well, Bee. So let's see, we have loads of things in here, and I might miss some things, King Good Lord, but we made it ourselves out of my big herb shelf in the last video, and it's for money. All of these are herbs or fruits or spices that draw money from this book, and we've got blood orange, regular orange, we've got clover, dill, basil, oats, cinnamon, almond, cloves, allspice, yeah, there might be more, but that's what I'm seeing just right here. In the money incense, we added more to it that might not have been tasty in the tea, but this tastes really good. And I wish I could say, I'm not just saying that, but yeah, and Red Man, you know, not a lot of people are into tea, but I'm just really happy to make teas from my herbal shelf for you guys for intentions and then tell you how they taste so you can do it yourself. I love black coffee for sure. I just, when I'm on my like health kicks and stuff, I know what coffee does to the body, and it's just not my very favorite thing, but I love the taste of coffee, and I love how adding espresso beans or coffee beans speeds up any magical working, and I love that element of it. Yeah, and I wanted Alex to taste it because, and for you guys to see him taste it because he's not a tea guy. You know, let's hear it from somebody who doesn't particularly like tea. So now we're going to get down here and we're really going to talk and try and focus on the coconuts. Ayla, hello, good morning. Morning Star, I love that name, it's so beautiful. We just made a brilliant herbal tea from my cabinet, and it tastes to me like ribbon candy. It's very, very strong, tastes like ribbon candy, and I love it. Okay, so the theme is red. We've got the Red Bull dehydrating the passion fruits. There's only 3 ingredients here, guys. We've got red grapes, we've got young Thai coconut, and we've got passion fruits. That's it. Red knife. We're really trying to carry on this theme of red. Passion. So now we're adding color magic into the kitchen magic. Does this make sense, you guys? Red, passion, love. Okay. So the big thing is that if you cut a young Thai coconut, make sure that there's nothing on the table that's going to like fall down, like your phone or a teapot or some glass jar or whatever. Like, you really have to bang into these suckers to get them open. And like I say, there's well, you could think of any kind of art you could do with this, but as you open up, think of what your goal is going to be. Do I want a floating candle out of the shell? Or do I want a little hut for my bird or sugar glider or for the birds outside? Or do I want to make a working inside of it and bury it? Because we've done all those videos, you know. So think of how you can use every bit of this, and as you cut off the outside of this, know that it's amazing in a potpourri. I'm going to run and I'll be right back to show you. Okay, so I made recently a new moon potpourri out of these young Thai coconut husks, right? The white part, because it smells so much like vanilla and rice milk, and I just can't really explain it. Brenda, can you try and explain the smell? I gave you some in your second order that you got from me via Etsy, but that first order I couldn't fit any inside of it. Brenda says, saw one of those Thai coconuts the other day at the market without any of the rind on the outside. Really? It was just like this? Are you sure it wasn't an American brown coconut? Because generally they always keep the rind on the outside. Or there's a little bit of green on the edge and they've just husked away the top for you. But they cut them like this so that you can cut them open. They cut a flat base on the bottom. So if you do go to cut away the rind, wait until you've cut the beginning first, because they cut this flat base for safety. And when we cut this open, you'll understand what I mean. But first, I want to show this spoon that Brenda made me, Bee Young, that's here. And for those of you who don't know Bee Young, she's huge in the witchcraft community, or at least our witchcraft community. And she's also a moderator when she's here. If she's here and she says something because I'm talking, she's correct. There's never been a time that Bee Young has been wrong on my channel. So if Thomas Dale is here or Bee Young is here, and there's a few other people, I don't have wrench moderators, but that's my girl. So she's made me this awesome spoon that she burned this lovely cat and a moon into, which I adore. And there's this awesome Ankh symbol on it. And she does these spoons on her Etsy. And if you can just put the name of your Etsy up, Be Young, I'd love to show that off for you. It's the cleverest name, I just can never remember what it is. Stir in some magic. So, and then I have another spoon from a beloved dear yes, Unique Junktique. It's just the best. It's so cute, I can't remember it. And then I have this other spoon that my friend Nina, I don't remember if she, wait, this isn't from Nina, this is from Allie. Allie has this hoodoo sensei, and she got it from her, and she's given this to me. So I like to stir my potpourris with my spoons that were special for me from my friends, and also because I feel like that energy goes into it, that love and this beautiful energy. Inside of the potpourri bowl that I've made up, I have my giant black tourmaline, which is just like pushing so much beautiful energy into that. And a lot of times when I take things out in the new moon or the full moon to bless them, this is a new moon potpourri. Great for manifestation, great for other things. This giant, look how big this hunk of tourmaline is, you guys. Do you it's growing quartz or something else. It's just magnificent. So having these things like your spoons from your friends or your giant hunk of black tourmaline is really going to put some amazing energy in there. But let's take these things away, and I just want to show you what the young Thai coconut, because we're saving all these pieces. As we do this recipe, so many things come up for witchcraft. When you pull the grapes off the vine, you have the grapevine for gossip removal workings. When you pull the passion fruit jelly out of the skins, you have passion fruit shells to dry and do workings in. When you do this, you have the husk, you have the meat, and these cost $2.50. That's a steal considering all the things that we get out of them. And in here, just like I used the blood oranges for the tea today, they're in the potpourri as well. In here I have some Vietnamese coriander that we grew. These are the young Thai coconut husks that just smell like this amazing vanilla rice milk. I don't know what it smells like. It's just so, so good. Some beautiful flowers for centerpieces. I have black Himalayan sea salt, regular oranges, hibiscus leaves, banana flower stamens throughout. Let me pull one of those out to show you what they look like. Bananas do have a flower. They come in a big tube. I save the leaves and then the stamens I put in here. I'm so proud of this potpourri. So putting a little bit of that, into my Etsy orders as a free gift, things like that. But yeah, this is up on the Etsy shop, I do believe. But just having these energies in there from your friends are something that I can't really describe or explain. And then when you share it with more of your friends, it's just absolutely beautiful. So the smell is really like vanilla-ish, but also, the smell that happens in your nose when you taste rice milk? So these are getting defrosted as we go. They're going to be able to at least be cut into, so they'll be good. They're ready when we are. And let's cut into this sucker. This tea is so good, this ribbon candy tea. Holy potatoes. While Be Young's here, I want to show you guys something she made me and really, Red Man? You like it? Sorry. I said, really, Red Man? Do you like it? Okay, so look. Do you see that thing above my window there? That big string of lovely stuff? Be Young made that for me, and she sent it to me as a beautiful, beautiful Yule gift. And it's been up there ever since. We love it. And when we get close to the window, especially when it's warm, we can smell it. But in general, it just radiates so much love into our home. And there's so many things here that are from you that we just love and adore. Awesome pack. When it dried. Yeah, I thought so too. No, you wouldn't stick around if you didn't like me. You know, that popcorn idea isn't yours originally. You got it from a friend who was Pringle cans with cookies? What a good idea. What a space saver. Okay, so we'll get this tea off the counter because everything we do from here on out is going to be like big banging noises. So, Otis! Come on, bud. This tea is so good, you guys. Holy potatoes. We made it together. I'm so glad we went with money. Who doesn't need money right now? Everybody in the States, at least, are waiting for their tax return. Alright. So basically, I've got a couple little tricks. I'll show them to you. Over my years of doing this, I've formed some tricks. So, if you cut into the side in the shape you want. Now, you can use some magic with hexagons, squares, triangles, whatever you want. I've not been clever enough to cut a triangle yet, but you sure could. Why couldn't you? Should we try it? Should we try it together? Okay. Okay, just remember, like, watch your fingers, get them out of the way. I've been doing this for a long time. Luckily, I have all my fingers, but, I mean, just be cautious and that. So what I do here is I cut this shape and then a shape below. And why I do that, you'll see. They just kind of pop out like this. And because what we're trying to do is get a little avenue for when we come down to strike it, because we strike the coconut with the back of the knife here. When we come down to strike it, we want somewhere to hit into. And I'll try and explain why as I go along. When I first got into... Hey, you alright? Okay. When I first got into raw foods and that, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. I was watching a lot of Ted Carr. I adore him, but at the same time, he retracted a lot of what he said. So I feel like, well, then.
Can't even stand by what you say.
Well, no, he said for years that these were raw, and then he said after loads of research, I found out that they do have to like heat them up to whatever. So. Apparently, technically, these aren't raw, and Ted Carr let us think that for years that they were, but didn't retract his videos or like fix them. So that was the gruff I have with that. But I still adore his videos, and he taught me loads of stuff. But I recently learned that these are not technically raw, and that's the only thing I have to say. But I learned a lot from that guy. He's a cool guy. Fruiteria, living on the vine. And he taught me that there is. What else did he teach me that's amazing? Fruit has everything you need and nothing that you don't. So when we think, oh, you can't just eat fruit, you'd just be full of sugars. Yeah, but it's a different kind of sugar. It's like good sugars. It's not CNH, you know? Processed jarble. Okay, so now once we've cut all that away, we're down to the actual shell, right? So when we strike it with a knife, we're going to be able to get whatever shape we want. And again, we have 3 coconuts to open. So, lovely bunch of coconuts, diddly-do. Also, if you have things around you don't want to get splattered, move them. But if you get, like, you'll become an artist with this if you become a raw foodist and this is your main source of calories.
After Costco, do you get anything?
Yeah, but I can't think of what it is. Costco. So we're just taking the back of the knife and tapping them lightly and not trying to get the... If you go too hard, the juice is going to fly out and like you're going to lose it. We want to avoid that. No, I can't call you. I don't need anything from Costco. I'm good. Can you get me something from the gas station?
Well,
champagne.
Better champagne for cheaper at Costco.
Okay, that works. Whatever.
It's the same. You can get gas station.
No. Just go to Costco then. So, I got a little heavy-handed there and it's splattering. That's okay. So right now we're just really getting into this young Thai coconut, trying to cut it into a shape for magical intention, because guess what? I love a triangle. I love the number 3. The Trinity. There's so much about it that I like. You can use this in magical workings, just like we talked about, putting herbs inside of it and burying it. So that's probably what I'll do with this one, since I have so many of the floating bath candles already. There we are. Okay, so basically once it starts to wiggle, whoop, don't lose the juice. Let go, you tramp. Basically, now we've got this shape and it's obviously dripping juice. Okay, so how do we get this out? Well, I'll show ya. What I do is I take the edge of the knife and I just do this. So beautiful. Oh, so let me show you a little something. A little something.
That's pretty good.
Huh?
That's pretty good. I'm happy with how she did it.
I love your hairs.
Yeah.
Glass straws. Pop one of those in there, and when you look at the milk, when it's in the shell, it looks dark, and you're like, oh no, it's not good. But when you put it in a glass straw, you can see that it's clear. And it's good, pure juice. But when you look, let me tip this down. Because you will come across a coconut 1 in 20 or 1 in 30 that's rotten on the inside, and that's not your fault. But when you look down into the water, it may look murky, but here's how you'll know if it's good, is if you look at it in glass. You know, it's clear, so you're good. So now take that water, and I love, and you guys know I love to chug the water from the inside of a young Thai coconut. It gives you a big rush. You feel really good. The energy you get is amazing. But I need this for my yogurt, because last time, remember, I did that. I was like, how many can I chug in a row? And then I didn't have any water left, and it was pudding, not yogurt. So we're saving those juices. Here's the funny thing about coconut, real coconut water from the coconut, and why you know it's so true to what it says about electrolytes, vitamins. Bye, babe, drive safe. About all the things that come with it. Here's how you know. You don't have to pee after you chug the water from 3 young Thai coconuts. That means your body absorbs it and displaces it before it gets down through the filtering system. That means most of it is usable in the body before it gets through the waste system. And I love that. So let's just try a little piece of this so that you know what it tastes like. I'm going to try and use my words to describe to you the taste. So good, so white, so lovely and silky and smooth. And different to the American brown coconut, which is hard and crunchy, this is soft like a noodle. That's why you can use it to make udons. I do. So much fun, right, Redman? Seriously. And we haven't even talked about the witchcraft benefits of this food yet. We're still having so much fun. But we're trying to apply our witchcraft to everything. That way we don't feel like we're not doing our witchcraft or our offerings or our stuff every day, you know, our spiritual stuff. So, see how this could become a noodle? I'll show you just how the top piece, how you can make this into a noodle, but I'm going to taste it first. So good! It's so good. It's so good. Okay. Like, one of my favorite snacks in the whole world is this. Rice Chex and organic whole milk. Young Thai coconuts taste exactly like this. I don't know how else to explain it. Or if you've ever had just rice milk, it tastes like that. But holy potatoes, this is my favorite snack, and it tastes. But I do put sugar on the top though. Okay. Now you're going to get your better noodles out of the more bulk of the meat from what I'm going to pull out next, but I'm going to show you how to make one out of the circle part of the top, because if you're trying to make that raw udon soup, and yes, it is served cold, and yes, it does taste delicious. Bye, Redman, love ya. He's got his own killer show he's got to get to. And I want one of those ghost boxes that he has. So, can you see? You just start by like going around the outside of the circle, just create a spiral, you know? And the noodles aren't going to look perfect, but they are going to be noodles. The other noodles look better than this, but you guys, for a fruit noodle, this is pretty cool. You can also make noodles out of cucumbers, really simply. Woo! So good. Let's see if I can slip it. Woo! A fruital! It's a fruital, Sam Lee, you're so right. Okay. I can't eat any more until this is done. I'm just saying, that's good. It's a fruital. That was hilarious. Hey, you guys. If drama happens in the chat room, which it won't, but if it does, in the chat, just type in caps to me, Jen, there's trouble. So that I know. Okay. So, these little fragments of wood that fall off from the shell, you can save for witchcraft workings. Excuse me. It's my kitchen. It's okay. Is this coconut wood? No. It's coconut shell. Coconut wood is what comes from the tree itself. I do believe. Isn't that right? So anyway, the shell is amazing, and remember this husk part you take off and you separate for your potpourri, right? Smells crazy good. And now we are gonna get the fruit out of the shell. This really is an important tool in telling whether your fruit is clear or not. But you can get a clear straw, but those look a little bit foggy. If you want to know how to get glass straws, just go on Amazon and you can order a 3-pack, and I think they're like $10. So you're paying $3 a straw, which is extravagant. I'm not saying that it's not, but it's whatever. Yeah, the landlord brought a new faucet, thank God. Sorry, B. No, I should put the new faucet in front of the dishes. Alright, be right back. We're gonna do the rest of this really quickly and then talk about the magical properties. I know that everybody doesn't want to just sit around and banter all day, and I get that. I'll be right back. Deep in the heart of Texas, sky at night, clouds are bright. Deep in the heart of Texas. Yep. Let's get this out of here. So this is difficult. I'm not going to fib and say that this is easy. It takes a little bit of skill, especially if you want to get those noodle shapes out of there. But have that spoon just grate it right along the edge of the coconut and visualize it happening and cleaning it all clear across as you're going through. The visualization will certainly help. We know that it does. But the best thing to use is a pure, like, kind of hard plastic spatula if you want to get the bulk of the noodle or the coconut out in one piece. One of these days somebody needs to fashion like the perfect young Thai coconut spoon or digger or whatever, like with a cushion at the top for your hand. You think whatever a raw foodist would have done it by now. So if you're not going for noodles, you can just dig it out however, right? But if you are, then you want to take your time. And you know, the time you put into it all adds up to the love that goes into it. So we talk about our elderly, you know, parents and folks say, we put love into our cooking. Okay, well, that's magic. Putting love into your food and that energy into your food is witchcraft in the kitchen. Brittany, I've had that candle going for you, darling, and I hope that you're okay. Yeah, everybody take a minute to think about Brittany, okay? She needs our love. So, on the inside, you're going to end up with some flakes of coconut. Just go in there and scrape it all out. That way, when you dry it, you don't have any coconut on the inside, right? See how I've scraped out all the stuff? So you just need to go in and scrape. I'll do that later because I'm not going to take time from the video. But I will show you a little bit on how to cut this off for the potpourri. Okay, so how do we get this into a noodle doodle? Well, we've got a pretty good start. Be careful of all these little chips, not to get a bite of them because it could hurt your teeth. Brenda, or B, how's your teeth doing? So your noodles can be as easy as getting a clean cut and a couple smallies. I'm only showing you the noodles so you know how to do it, but we're putting this all in the blender. These taste amazing. A little soy sauce. If you're really particular about the look, you can take off all the shells so they're just clean white noodles and look exactly like udon noodles. Or you can leave them rustic looking with a little bit of that skin of the shell on there. It's just like the skin of an almond. It's got nutritional benefit, but it's not gonna, it just looks nicer. I'm glad you're doing better, Brenda. So you got some noodles, and if you can get this thing out in a whole chunk, you can get a giant noodle, which I've done before. I've done big giant noodles. And we're gonna get that all in the blender, okay? Just make sure there's no shell in there. God darn, those are good. Oh my Pete. Like you know, like these people talk about like food gasms and things taste so good. Yeah, I'm a part of that train. I don't know what ASMR feels like, but I know what the food noises feel like, and it's kind of embarrassing sometimes when you're eating out at a nice place and you don't know how to stop because you're used to eating like, you know, regular stuff all the time, and I don't know. It's all good. Alright, so we get all these coconuts in here. Let me see if I can. Oh, I'm a big believer in candles too, Lunaria. So much. So I'm going to cut these up as quickly as I can and just kind of focus on that while you guys chit-chat and or watch. Feel free to pop in and out at your leisure. I'm really just been filming all day, so I don't expect anybody to say hello and goodbye, or, you know, if you want to, feel free, but I understand that people can't stay. But I do feel like I'm here hanging out with my friends, and that's like one of my most favorite beautiful things of ever since I was a little girl. I've not always had friends because my brothers were older than me, and I wanted to be with them and their friends. But they're 8 and 10 years older than me, and they're boys. And that's why I feel like I have a lot of the masculine quality to me. You know, because I grew up with 2 older brothers, and they really did the bulk of the raising me when I was a little girl. Well, no, when I was more of an adolescent, I suppose. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Thanks, Daryl. Appreciate it. You did good. I turned out okay. See how I'm keeping my fingers way out of the way? I'm just balancing this here. You don't want your fingers up here. You don't want to accidentally slip and bang into yourself. That would be bad news, bear. Yes, we did it, you guys. It's still hooked in. I wanted to show you, it looks like a brain. And coconuts are complete brain food. And they will survive your whole body if you let them. But let me just show you. I wish my camera was better. No, I'm going to start saying my camera is better. My camera is better. My camera is better. There are these grains on the top that look like a brain. Or like a tree. And this is all in one big form. I love it. So I'm going to keep cutting coconuts and just chat to you guys. Any magical topics we want to bring up? And did any of you catch my dollhouse episode yesterday of Dollhouse Madness, where we made the magical tea and that new series we're going to do? It's going to be really exciting. Youth, childhood, the whole blot. I haven't noticed that yet, any crazy synchronations yet. Yes, you're going to be in the Keys, Brenda? That's so cool. Hey, whoop! Oh, you guys missed it. I just squirted my whole entire shirt with coconut water. That was funny. Oh my god. That was nuts. I couldn't do it again if I tried, though. So, I guess Alex's cousin, Brenda, lives really... Where are you in Florida? Because I guess Alex's cousin is down... I don't know where he's at. Jacksonville? So, we're going to be over in Jacksonville quite often. Are you over there? I forget what part of Florida you're in. So good. Fort Lauderdale. Okay. Johnny Dragon, say hi. Are you going to be good this time? We're talking about food, so that's the topic. I'm barely making it through the retrograde. I know, we're having such a hard time. Johnny, the only reason I put you in timeout last time was because it was just so far off topic, hon. But stay on topic, and we'd love to have you here. You're way south of Jacksonville. That's okay. That's okay. I'm not afraid of a drive. I know that I'll see you soon. One way or another. Ah! So yeah, you just want to make sure you keep the shells out of this. And I could have prepped these coconuts before I went on live. I probably should have, but I wanted to show you guys how to do it. It's really yummy stuff. Oh, shoot. Let me try and take him out of timeout. Hold on, you guys. Johnny, let me take you out of timeout if I can figure out how to do it. No, Johnny's not in timeout anymore. They retracted their own message. I know, and I was really excited that... No, he's not still on timeout, you guys. I just checked. And you guys, I really don't do that a lot. It was just the same. It was just the same message over and over, and it was off topic. So. Okay, well, this one's going to be a little more difficult. It happens. I wish I had my regular spoon for this. See, Johnny's allowed to comment. He retracted, or she retracted her own comment. I'm glad you're here, Johnny. I'm glad that you came back. Alright, well, this coconut's not going to work for today because I can't get into it unless I get maybe a better spoon. Let's just try another spoon. Nilo, hi, how are you? Where are you from? Oh no, nobody be sorry. We're all just trying to help each other out and be loving community, you know? Showing what we know. Nello, what city and state are you from? Or I haven't seen you here before. Nice to see you. We are making some yogurt. Caribbean, last of your country's shamans. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, if you're from the Caribbean, you're probably familiar with some type of young Thai coconut, right? Or coconuts in general. They're hard to get out of the shell sometimes, y'all. You need a pretty durable tool. Found you randomly and couldn't stop? Couldn't stop watching? Well, I'm so happy that you found me randomly. That's super exciting. This is me. Hi, my name is Jen. I'm the Taxidermy Witch. Normally we're in my bedroom and we're doing witchcraft workings and things like that. Today we're in the kitchen. We're doing witchcraft in the kitchen. So I'm so happy that you're joining us. We're making a lovely yogurt with 3 ingredients. Young Thai coconut, grapes, and passion fruit. So we're very excited about that. 3 ingredients, super magical, super yummy, and super nutritious and delicious. Come on. So this one is really, really developed because, here's why I say this. Some of them are very thin and pliable and easy to get out of the shell, like this last one we opened. Look how flimsy this one was. Very, very thin layer. Look how thick this one is compared to this one. This is why, again, I say the calorie count can be so different per fruit. This has so thick of a layer to it, whereas this one we opened first was so easy. So that's great. We have a lot more volume of the fruit. We have a lot more calories and nutrition and fat, which is what I need. And so we're very excited to get that in there. I say we all the time. Why is that? Gemini. I need to wipe my hands. Awesome, I have all those growing on your farm. Really? That's amazing. Wow. How cool. Well, welcome. I'll do that later, I promised. Okay. That's my snack for later is what's left inside, y'all. Oh, always a warm welcome here now. Always. Everybody here is so, so sweet. And make sure to hug everybody else's channel, ring the bells, and not say the S word. And the S word is not shit, it's the S-U-B word. And we're going to be fine. You guys are welcome to network with each other, hug each other's channels, because I know that it gets a little bit boring when I'm uncooking. Okay, so we have one more coconut to open up, y'all. Cut it up, get it in the blender, and we can cut up these passion fruits and get started on that. They're gorgeous. Really beautiful. Jackshai Farm says, do I want food from Costco? Oh my god, baby, you're so hilarious. No, Jackshai Farms, I'm okay. I know. I'm okay, babe. I don't need any food. I'm all good. I have this lovely, lovely young Thai coconut. You are so the best husband in the world. Okay. So, here again, one more time, is how we get into this young Thai coconut. Cut any shape you want. First layer. And remember, how we cut it is going to be what we end up with. Whether you want a teeny tiny hole for a little birdhouse or whether you want a big hole for a floating bath candle afterwards, right? Esoteric Dragon says, I was enjoying some beer and randomly found this channel, Magical Beer. Dude, such magical beer! Kristen, we rarely get Young Thai coconut here in Germany. Oh, darling. I need to get them online in a box of 9. I bet Amazon can get it to you. I mean, I'm not from Germany. I'm actually German. My husband and I have so much German blood, especially my husband. My husband is 75% German, and I'm 45 to 55% German. But anyway, my husband's father is complete German man, and I learn a lot from them on German cooking. But I know a lot of my own family's heritage from my dad's side of German cooking. And Brenda, or excuse me, sorry. There we go. So now we're going to pop out those outer edges like we did before. Right? Whoop. We use all these to dry in the dehydrator for potpourri later. Just like this potpourri that we made. This is made of Young Thai coconuts as the base of it. Okay. So Johnny, why don't you just keep it to, you know, how are you? Don't say your name, the whole thing every time. We get it, hun. We really embrace your character. Oh, Jugshy Farms, love you guys too. You're so sweet, babe. I love you. I use the coconut for Aquarian ritual since it's the age. They are water bearers similar to the age strong milk. I love that. And Brenda's 60, so it goes me at the smallest, then Brenda, and then Alex. In our lovely little tower of friends. Okay, so remember to save all these little knobs for your potpourris and stuff. And then you end up with any shape you want. Here I have a 5 shape. What is a 5 shape called? Is it a pentagram? I don't know. This one's got a lot of juice in it. Pentagon. Yes, okay, good. That's what I thought. Just because of that shape we have in Washington, D.C. And is the 6-sided one, is that a hexagram? See how we're just prying that top open? Watch. Just taps, and the whole thing is with the back of the knife here. There's nothing, I cut it with this side, but I'm just tapping it in. Okay, interesting bee, hexagon. So, let's break apart the words and do some terminology, right? It's interesting that a 6-sided shape is called a hexagon. That's all I have to say about that. So remember that last coconut we pulled? Now look at how thin the meat is in this one. Again, like that first one. And septagon for 7, and I know octagon is 8, like an octopus. I do know that. Which is funny because do you guys know why October? I want to talk about October! Because it all comes back to witchcraft. October is 8, octopus, octagon, right? But it's the 10th month. Why is that? Brenda, tell us why it is. The calendar used to start differently. Did you guys know that? October used to be the 8th month because there was no January, February. Trippy when you look back at it. Alright, Joni, this is the last warning. Don't type that whole thing. It's okay to say hello to people, but if you type where your name come from, I'm going to put you back in timeout. Alright, So, as you can see, the reason why the calorie content is different. This is the last warning, Johnny, and then it's time out, and then after that, it's like, I don't normally give strikes. It's normally just like, see you later. I'm trying to welcome you here and let you be a part of this family, but you have to be good. Okay, so in here, we've got another coconut. We're just going to try and scrape it out, get it in there, and then we're going to open these. Johnny, be good! Yeah! How does the song go? Hold on, I have to really channel Back to the Future. No, that's not it. Johnny, be good. I'm confusing it with Say It's Your Birthday. I wish someone was here to sing me Johnny Be Good. Johnny Be Good. I can't get it in my head because I'm thinking about 3,000 things at once. But you guys can see how thin this one is, like in comparison to the last one that was insanity. You say it's your birthday, so mother let you know. It's hard to keep those little coconut shells out. You'll get it. Let's either have it on me or on the phone. It does take a lot of time, you guys. And I guess this is a good example of how much time it takes. Making sure there's no shells in there. Now, they do make a mechanism to open these in a perfect circle. But, for me, that takes the fun out of it. And that's probably why I've not paid the $45 for that mechanism. Right? There's my treat for later. All that's left in there. There's my treat for now. The rest is for later. Oh my gosh. Yummy! Alright. Alright, Johnny. See you soon. That was 3 strikes, y'all. But I'm not going to block people unless they're cruel. But if they won't listen to what I'm saying about, like, hey, the topic is this, let's stay on topic, and then still talking about whatever. It's just, you're not respecting my channel. So just come back when you can. Alright, so the top of the fruit has this lovely, which I can't capture with my camera, but it does have these like brain looking lines on them naturally. Okay. So good. So 3 coconuts and 3 coconut waters of the young Thai coconuts add up to this. Okay. That's a lot. It's very, very heavy. It's a lot of stuff. Hey, Silver Willow just went live for any of you who want to go over and check out her thrift haul. I'm always in support of other people's stuff, even if I'm on live. And I just want to let you know, in case you didn't get the notification, Silver Willow just went live to show her thrift haul. And I'll be trying to catch up on that later, but I hope I get to. I'd love to see another witch's thrift haul. It's one of my favorite things, is to be inspired by others and inspire others. It's the best. Okay, so now let's get all collected. I know, ooh, thrift haul. All we're going to do right now, you guys, is cut up passion fruit and probably talk a little bit about passion fruit. So please, for those of you who want to go see Silver Willow, do it, please. You're not going to make me sad. I love you no matter what. Tap. Alright, so do a tiny bit of tidying up, and we're going to cut up these beautiful little passion fruits. And funnily enough, the water is icy cold. They look great. They look happy. They look harmonious. You guys, it really does break my heart to put people in timeout or to block or delete people. Honestly, I've had to do it very few times, but it gets me in a sad mood. That's all I have to say about it. That person didn't sadden me. It just saddens me that like sometimes people don't understand what this channel's about. That it's just for being friends and friendship and love, and not like not listening, I guess. I don't know. I try to give chances though. We try. This tea is super wicked and radical. It tastes like ribbon candy. Especially when it's hot, but even when it's cold, it still has that candy taste to it. Okay. So, let's cut open some passion fruits, shall we? Protect your light at all costs, love. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to, you know. When you're naughty, you get put in timeout chair. Right, exactly. Because that person was not being mean. They were just being naughty. Okay. So, in here, we've got our other two ingredients, the passion fruit and the grapes. So, do you guys want to talk about the magical qualities first? Do you guys want to talk about the magical qualities right now? Oh, Nilo, we made a money drawing tea. So if you watched the live stream before this one, we created this whole tea upon the request of a viewer. And a lot of times I hop on my channel and I say, do you need me to create a tea for you for a magical intention? And then they say, yeah, for money or for joy. And so yesterday I created one for joy, and before this episode, today I created one for money. And it tastes really good. All herbal, and all made from my cabinet. So yeah, check that out if you like. Do you guys want me to read the magical qualities first, or do you want me to just keep cutting up and making? Because I can't read until we're done, really, or until I take a break, but my hands are clean right now, so you let me know. How long have I been on for? On and off all day, since like 7 a.m. And right now, for me, it's 3. It really does taste good. I was interested. Maddie Patain, magical qualities. Hi, how are you, Maddie? Nice to see you. Okay, so magical qualities. Let's open the book and talk about magical qualities right now. I'm gonna so let's talk about this super quick. If you're reading this book for magical qualities, remember it's just for magical workings. But when you ingest food, Mellow, you're with Maddie, but go with these? I don't understand. I'm very confused. Oh, you're with Maddie on magical qualities. I thought you meant you guys were in the same room. I'm like, what? Okay, so when we make potions and oils and magical potpourris, anything we're not going to eat, this will tell us the magical intentions. For instance, mango's in this book, and it's also in this book, and it says different stuff. But why? Oh, because we're making something magical we're eating. So the red book is when you eat it. The one that says in the kitchen is the magical qualities of ingesting it, okay? But this book is going to tell you how to use it in spells, how to know the lore when you're using it in talisman, amulets, and all of those types of things. Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Witchcraft, Wicca in the Kitchen is going to tell you about the magical qualities when you ingest it. So do you guys want to hear about coconuts, passion fruit, or grapes first? The first person to type it will be the first person to get their wish. Maddie, we're doing great. Coconut, perfect. Just so you guys know, I've done extensive videos and read through this whole entire book and this book and many other books on coconut. So if you want to see the extensive videos on coconut, I'll do passion fruit next and I'll do grapes last, Brittany, you bet. So we're going to go to coconut. When we go to the back of the book, into the index, shows up on a lot of pages, 101, 160. Because there's recipes in here, loads of stuff. 101, 160. 160. Okay, so it's under the nuts and seed category, which is where it should be, and that's good, because coconut is a seed. We call it coconut. It's not a nut, it's a seed. It's been masquerading as a nut for years, and we got a sprouted young Thai coconut. Alex has a plant in the green tent right over here, where we have a sprouted young Thai coconut tree growing, and when we get our butts to Texas, we're going to plant it. You know what I'm saying? So here, coconut, it appears on page 168, and it's under the category called Nuts and Alleged Seeds. Coconut knowledge, herbs, and the magical properties of plant. Symbiosis. The planet is the moon, and that makes so much sense because it's a big, round, white ball, right? Look, it looks like the moon. It really does, or what we think of the moon to be. The element. Do you guys want to guess the element? Most all fruits are the same element. Most all fruits are what element, you guys? Most all fruits are water, exactly. Most all fruits are water. They're very, very hydrating. They're very, very nutrient-based. Yes. Lilacs and Lightning is here. Yay! Jamica's here. Brittany, you guys all got it. Water, 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 water. Perfect. You guys are on point. Either you've been watching my videos where I say, most all fruits are water so many times, or you just know intuitively, which is beautiful. Thomas, it's okay, darling. You have to go to sleep. We want you to sleep, sweetheart. We don't want you to feel bad about going to sleep ever. And if you're not getting into your REM state, that's not good either. Like, I don't think you've been asleep for more than 4 hours, sweetie. Maybe you should go back to bed. But we are glad you're here either way. So, the energies, now we're talking about the energies magically when we ingest them, not when we use them in a working. Energies, spirituality, psychic awareness, and purification. Again, when we talk about cleansing, that word isn't going to come up in these books. It's called purification. Now, what I love about these books is that there is lore. See right there, that word, L-O-R-E, lore. I've always been a fan of that word. So here's the lore of the coconut. I don't have one to hold up anymore because I've dismembered it, so here we go. Most all fruits are tasty, absolutely. The lore of the coconut. The coconut is one of the world's most useful trees. Do you see how many things I made out of just one young Thai coconut? I believe that. As many as 300 products can be made from the fruit, husks, flowers, stalks, leaves, and trunk. Trunk is where you get the coconut wood, you know. Found in tropical areas around the world, it was probably spread from its currently unknown place of origin by oceans, currents, and the migration of humans. This is a mysterious fruit. The origin is unknown because of the tropics and because of where it could have spread around. Now remember, the coconut is a seed, and when it floats around in water, it germinates, and when it comes onto sand and lands, it plants itself. It's an amazing fruit. Nobody knows exactly where it came from. It's mysterious. You could certainly add mystery or mysterious or invisibility to this fruit, to this seed, okay? To this alleged nut that's been masquerading as a nut for years. Generations, millennia. In ancient Hawaii, coconut was offered to many deities, including Cain. Coconut groves were worshipped as spiritual places linked with the divine. Throughout the Pacific, Haina, goddess of the moon, is linked with the creation of the original coconut. So maybe it came from nowhere. Maybe it came from Haina. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Haina dropped a coconut into the ocean and said, let's let this spread nutrition throughout the world without meat. Who knows? I don't know, but it's just a thought. Magical uses. When we ingest the fruit. Erica, hi! I love lore too, Jamaica. It's like my favorite thing. This white round nut would naturally have lunar symbolism, with all that implies moistness, love, spirituality. Eat fresh coconut before or during rituals designed to boost your spiritual awareness. Okay? So, if you're going to do some meditation, if you're going to do some astral travel, if you're going to do some divination and you want to boost your spiritual awareness, the coconut is an excellent way to do that. Now, if we're going to apply it to meditation, I would say eat it the night before and wake up for your meditation first thing in the morning. We don't want to eat before we meditate. We don't want to drink a lot before we meditate. We want to get right out of bed for our first meditation and sit when we're straight from the astral and barely awake, but still awake. And that's what I do. I crawl right from bed, right down to my meditation pillow, and I sit. That's the first thing that I do. But if you were going to link coconut to this, I would eat a bunch at nighttime, like I'm going to do, and maybe do up some proper divination in 8 hours post, or after your sleep. So designed to boost your spiritual awareness. It is also a fine psychic awareness food. Coconut is also used for inner purification if eaten with the proper visualization. So as you're eating it, see that white light, just like the coconut is white, spreading through your body, spreading pureness, detoxing out whatever you want out, whether it's energy or whether it's physical, okay? Whole coconuts are kept in the kitchen for power. So if you're one of those folks who gets a coconut and it sits in your fruit bowl forever and you just never have the time to get it, remember that that sitting there is a symbol of power. Okay? Now if these have the husks on them, they have to be kept in the fridge or they'll mold. But if you have the young American brown coconut, or not the young, the American brown coconut, North American brown coconut, which is what's most common in the American grocery stores, you could just set that right on your counter, okay? But these young Thai coconuts, they do have to be refrigerated with the husks on and that. While whole coconuts are kept in the kitchen for power, fresh coconut is best for magical and culinary purposes, but the shredded packaged kind will do in a pinch. So again, this is going to be the most magical, but if you don't have it, channel your hoodoo and use what you've got around you. Now, when we talk about channeling hoodoo, we want to use what we have around us first. So if we had coconut shreds in the cupboard, we wouldn't go out and get fresh young Thai coconuts, you know, if it was for, you know, a working in that. But I don't use dried coconut. So I don't have it. Actually, I have it for candy. I have it for like pudding down in my snack drawer down there. I have coconut shreds that are dried, so I guess you could use that, but I'm just saying, like, this is something we get often on our grocery list. But it looks like the moon. It's very lunar. Oh, hi Filipino, how are you? Nice to see you here. You think it's old school teach created in the Atlantis way? Yeah, totally. These secrets, and you know, a lot of us just feel it deep in our bones, and there's something to say about that. So we are going to be preparing the grapes and the passion fruits next. We had to get those frozen passion fruits into some water to thaw out. Again, this is what they look like when they are fresh. In this yogurt, I don't use the fresh kind because the fresh kind are just so amazing to eat just on their own, and these taste just about the same. But I don't normally eat these unless I put them in a yogurt. So there's that. Okay, so now we've said we would talk about passion fruit next, and then lastly the grapes. So, passion fruits. Passion fruits don't appear in this book, just so you know. I was kind of surprised with that, but remember, you can dry out the skins and do workings on them. If you can't get your hands on them, I sell them on my Etsy shop. Dried passion fruits. This one Alex dried pretty cleverly. He just opened a mouth into it and ate it out with a spoon, and then dried it completely closed except for that. So you could completely do up a working in here. We're always trying to find clever ways to cut fruits open so that we can use them later for magical workings in the dehydrator. It's hard, you know. It's awesome. They're used for strong healing magic in your culture. Right. And the word passion is attached to it, so you really can use that, you know, like ghost pickles, you know, ghost cucumbers. You should video about the difference between voodoo, hoodoo, and I did a video on that, actually. I've deleted a lot of videos, but I still have over 500 videos, and I have a video on the difference between voodoo, hoodoo, and voodoo. And I don't ever talk about black magic, really, because it's just what hand you work with, and those words white and black magic, yay, Alex is home, is can be viewed as not the nicest words, but like, I know that you don't say them with that intent, so I don't feel that, you know. But I have done a video up on that. I sure did 4 or 5 months ago. Okay, so passion fruit. If you guys ever want to search a magical topic, just type into YouTube the Taxidermy Witch and mangoes or passion fruit or coconut or black magic or voodoo or whatever with the Taxidermy Witch, and chances are one of my videos will come up. Okay, on the topic. Passion fruit, page 118 to 24. I found it! Okay, it's right here. So it does not appear in the green book because Scotty doesn't necessarily suggest it in this collection, but he does use it in the kitchen. So, planet, do you guys want to guess the planet? Where is it? Where's the passion fruit? I lost it. There it is. Planet?
I messaged you a few times, but you never replied.
I didn't need any food.
All your people even messaged you.
I know, I saw you on the live stream. Did we guess a planet?
Huh?
Do you want to guess what planet this is?
Venus?
Nope. Oh, that's what Kristen guessed too. Good guesses, you guys. Nope, it's the moon. Planet the moon, which does not resonate as much as it did with the coconut, but the planet's the moon. I guess it does because it's round and dark, and the moon can sometimes be dark. The element. We all know the element.
Do you see my pen anymore, babe?
It was on that little table last I checked. The element of passion fruit. What is it? It's a fruit, so the element is probably going to be... water again. Yes, that's right, water. So it's a fruit. Those are almost always water. The energies, there's two of them when we ingest them. Love and peace. Okay? The flower makes sense for it being the moon. Well, are you talking about the passion flower? Because the passion flower is different than the passion fruit flower. But passion flowers are beautiful. Peace and love, yes. Okay, the lore of the passion fruit. Let's read about that, and then we'll cut it up, okay? The lore. The vine is a native of Brazil. Christian folklore associates the unusual flowers with this tropical vine with the crucifixion. This is curious since the plant doesn't grow in biblical lands. That is curious, Scotty, that is. The Cajuns, among others, use passion fruit to claim anger and promote friendships. The fruit is about the size of an egg. And is usually purple and wrinkled when ripe. Again, I tell you guys, the uglier the fruit looks, the better it's going to be. So it should be wrinkly like this. Scotty even said so. Now, each fruit produces less than a tablespoon of juice. So this really is a good flavoring to this yogurt. It's such an interesting flavor. Only about a tablespoon of juice for the fruit. When passion fruits are sold in many markets in the United States. Passion fruits are sold. Magical uses. Known as kaliki-ikio in Hawaii, passion fruit produces an exquisitely tart juice. Here, Alex. When diluted with sweetened, its taste becomes rich and mysterious. I know, but just stop. And passion fruit, add passion fruit to love diets. Fortunately, passion fruit juice is currently a popular flavoring ingredient to mix tropical punches. And so some form of passion fruit is readily available. So it's telling you that in these tropical punches, you're at least going to have some passion fruit juice in there. So if you can't find it anywhere else, read the ingredients of a tropical punch and you could find it there. The sweetened juice is also drunk for peace. So drinking passion fruit will bring peace. Let's cut these up and then we'll get them into the blender. And then the grapes are just actually something that we don't add into the blender. They're for texture throughout the whole dish, which might make sense later. I'm not a chef, so I can't really talk too much about texture in that, but I do eat food, so I know what tastes good. Alright, let's cut up these passion fruits now. These ones were frozen. I'm going to cut them long ways so that I can get the most out of my workings. So, here's what's inside. I can't explain the taste. Sour, like sparky, and all over flavor. It goes up into your nose, it goes down into your throat, it covers your mouth, and it's just got ultimate flavor just everywhere. If you haven't had a passion fruit, please go get one, even if it's frozen and you taste it. you can thank us later. They're so good. So I'm adding that right into the whole entire 3 coconuts and all the water from that. And when you eat these, know that these seeds do have a crunch to them, and that's normal. And just be careful if you have tender teeth, I suppose. I don't know. Alex, do you think it could harm teeth?
What?
Do you think that passion fruit seeds could harm teeth?
No. They're like super frail teeth.
Right.
They're not hard.
So we'll be popping these in the dehydrator for magical workings and that. Oh, come on. There's a mannequin in my way. Here's the thing, when you cut them, you want to open them as quickly as possible so that the little bit of juice that is in there doesn't come out onto your tray. If it does, just scrape that in the blender, because remember, 1 tablespoon of juice per fruit is not a ton. And some of these are going to be a lot different colors than the others. Some of them are going to have a bright red vibrant. Okay, I guess. Okay, so we'll get as much of that as we can in. You know, it kind of looks like uni. For those of you who like Japanese food, it kind of looks like uni with black dots. The sea urchin. So we're just getting all this passion fruit into here. We're going to blend this up, and then the rest is pretty simple. We've got most of the big parts done. Take a look at what's going on in the blender. Amazing yumminess, y'all. Amazing yumminess. They look like little magical eyeballs. So these will all go into the dehydrator because we're going to use those for those love workings, crashing workings. Alex is bringing home more water from the well from my mom's house. He just brought open another big jug. Every day he goes out to feed the goats, he fills up the water from my mom's well. And we have more water to give to the plants. We don't give the plants fluoridated water. It's important to us that the plants stay with the well water. And this, we're not adding. Alex said it may have been a different passion fruit. No, it's an unripe passion fruit, and it doesn't taste good. It tastes off. So we're going to say to the side. Taste the difference between that and the other. It tastes like really, really sour, not much sweet. Just suck on it.
No, I'm looking at it. Oh yeah, that's definitely not right.
Right. But I mean, it's not horrible. We could still use it.
Where did they stuff the unripe one?
Right? That's why I said bright green.
Well, there's yellow passion fruit as well.
Right, but I just didn't see why they put that in just like as a grab bag.
Hey, looky.
Alright, so again, if they don't have any reds, they're probably not ripe. Taste them beforehand. You might want to put them to the side. So now we are going to tip you up, and we're going to go blend this over here in the blender. Ready? Exciting times. Another day of witchcraft. Here at Jackshire Farms with Jenn, the Taxidermy Witch, and Alex. Having loads of fun every day.
Yeah, alien cookies.
If you guys have not yet subscribed to my husband's channel, you should. Because you can go over there and you can ask any gardening questions you have. He's been going live every day or every other day, but it's been about every day. And we're really trying to collab on a lot of topics, you know, growing witchcraft plants. If you guys have trouble growing any of your normal plants for just food for your house, there's a lot of people here, not necessarily just within the spiritual community, but outside of that as well. I encourage you to stay. So that's what we're doing. We're having fun every day. Remember, we put it in a red bowl. We're really trying to use that color magic with the red knife, the red cutting board, trying to put that passion and love into this working. Trying and succeeding. I am actually going to put these in the dehydrator just as they are, because the fact that they're unripe, I'm going to use them for some particular working where the passion is unripe, but we're going to make it fertile. So these are going in the dehydrator just as they are, and I'm really actually pretty excited about that. Here you go. Somebody asked me the other day the coolest thing I've ever dehydrated, and I have to say, besides the tiny figs that Alex gives me that falls off, this is probably the coolest thing I've ever dehydrated, is this teeny tiny pineapple, where the leaves are twice as big almost as the plant. But the pineapple has shrunk, but the leaves have not. It's really freaking me out, but I love this little tiny fruit. And Alex, look how tiny it got. Way smaller than it was. I know, I really try not to waste anything, but you know, some things have to go to waste. They go in the scrap pile, right? The compost and that. Alright, so that's going in there. No, and I really try and show you guys that when you're cooking normal foods, you can take those ingredients or the scraps out, and just if you just spend a little bit of money on a dehydrator, you go and you get one secondhand or whatever, or from your mom, or ask an old person that you know if they have a dehydrator. They probably do. And they're kind of a thing of the past. And as we know, old people tend to hang on to things because they have that mentality of you might need it someday, and that's pretty special too, until it becomes a hoarding issue, right? But we honor the keeping things for a reason, and making use of what you've got. It's a really good way to live. So let's blend. Again, I don't really think that you have to spend $800 on the newest Vitamix, just like you do the newest cell phone. I think that might not be right, but you know, if you have a Vitamix, that's fantastic. I use the Ninja, which hasn't done me wrong yet, you know. Yeah, the pineapple is flipping adorable. Okay, let's blend this. And basically we're going to pulse for a while, and then we might blend. I just kind of see every coconut's different, you guys. Power. And then we've got pulse, low, medium, and high. The taste is there, that's for sure. So now we end up with our yogurt. And it's pretty liquidy, this batch. You never really know how it's going to turn out. Sometimes you can add the coconut juice the coconut water as you go if you want it to be thicker than this. But I don't mind this consistency at all. But just to note that if you want it to be thicker, add the coconut water as you go, and it will be more of yogurty puddingy type. So let me show you kind of how I do this finishing touches. Is I get a couple jars or 2 jars. Today I'm using 2 jars. I might get 6 teeny jars if I'm trying to pack out lunches for 6 days or breakfast for 6 days or something. Generally though, I wouldn't want to keep this probably for more than 4 days just because it's a fresh fruit and you never know what kind of science will happen in those jars. I don't know. So at the bottom, I take these grapes that we soaked in that well water that was blessed in the moonlight, right? Okay. Those have soaked those pesticides off. I might come back through and wipe them off as I go through. But basically, I just cut them. If they're small enough, I just leave them whole and I'll put them in the bottom. And then I'll put some on the top as well. But these are really large grapes, so I cut them in half. And again, these are red grapes, so we're using that color magic again for red grapes. Red knife, red cutting board, red bowl, red book, passion, love. Absolutely, all those things are just like shining through in here. So trying to get as much of those pesticides off as we can, right? Because these are non-organic grapes. And then we're going to cut them in half, put some at the top, or some at the bottom, fill up the jar with yogurt, and then put some at the top. And why do we have the grapes in there? Because this yogurt doesn't really need the grapes, but it does texture-wise to me in my eyes. Now I take this and I put it outside. Because I just feel like moon water shouldn't go down the drain. So, there's that. It's outside. Now let's cut up some of these, get them in there. And we're almost done with the yogurt. And then we can go back in the room and read myths, and Alex can watch television, and it'll be all good. Oh, no! I love Captain Spaulding. I just love Captain Spaulding. Alex, that's awesome.
I think it says blood violence freaks at the bottom.
What does it say? Blood violence freaks? Jesus. Oh, freaks. We love freaks. We're all freaks here. So yeah. Straight in half. You're going to have a good, nice little texture element with those grapes. Something to bite on, something to crunch on. Now you want to make sure these grapes are crunchy, because that's what it's all about. If they're not crunchy, then maybe add in like apple or, I mean really you could do any fruit. I just feel like the grapes have a really nice taste in this. I've tried it with mango, I felt it was too squishy. I've tried it with kiwi, that's too squishy. I've tried it with a lot of things, but grapes have that really nice crunch factor to it, which I feel like you need to make this whole thing come together. Again, it's just 3 ingredients. Grapes, young Thai coconut with the water and the meat, as well as passion fruit, either frozen or fresh. And you can use all of it because you end up with this floating candle. You end up with a beautiful dish of potpourri. All these things from making a little batch of yogurt. It's pretty fantastic stuff. potatoes. I forgot to save the stuff for the top. I'll take it back out. Alright. Oh, are you kidding me? So we see we've got grapes on the bottom. Now, if this is a little thicker, they sit on the top and they sit on the bottom. But I'm never sad about the texture of how it comes out, because every time I'm like, oh man, that didn't come out good. I taste it and I'm like, great, that was better than the last time. So here we've got it. You can see the floats kind of graping around in there. You can see the grapes kind of floating around in there. It's really, really, really yummy. I hope that you get a chance to enjoy it. And let me just take a bite with you guys so that I can tell you how it tastes. It kind of looks like soup. There was a lot more water than coconuts this time, but it's okay. Okay, you have the crunchiness of the grape, which you're working on as you chew. And then the passion fruit's got this, like, you're chewing on the coconut as well. The passion fruit has got a really, like, old school, homey, comforty, loving taste. I can't really describe it. When I taste things, I think of memories and times rather than pieces of food and what I could compare it to. So, not to sound too Iron Chef 1995, but like, it takes me back home, and I really, really like that. So comforting. Like, who describes food like that, you know? But whenever that Japanese actress on the original Iron Chef would describe food, that's how I understood it to be too. Like, oh, it just takes me back to being fishing on the docks, and like, I get that. This is good. It is a little too soupy. If it turns out too soupy and you'd want there to be less water in there, you can certainly run it through a cheesecloth and get some of the water out. There's lots of methods you could do to take care of that, but I'm just embracing it. It's all really good. So here's what we're doing. My husband needs his space back, and will be coming back live with me to go in the room and read some myths and whatever else you guys want to do, you know? Do you guys want to say hi to Chloe real quick while she's here? Chloe girl! Hi, Boo-Boo. Everyone was so worried about you. I'll get you back. I'll bring you back. Love me. Good girl. Good girl. She came home to us, you guys. We have no idea where she was, but she's back. Chloe, tell everybody where you were. We have no idea where she went, but she was gone for 3 nights and 4 days, and I think somebody picked her up and tried to take her, and then either felt guilty or they were like, this cat is not happy. Like, we, you know. But here's the thing, if you take a cat from a happy home, it's not going to come to your house and just forget. I know, dude. She just appeared in the kitchen. Where were you? I don't even think she knows. Poor sweet Chloe, but we couldn't live without her. That's the thing. It's just, we just could not live without her. So, guys, I had loads of fun with you in my kitchen. Join me back in the studio in a little bit, and we'll do some more witchcraft stuff. I'm going to join some other friends live if anybody's live, and if they're not, then I'll just come straight back on because I'd like to be with you guys. So, see you soon, and enjoy your yogurt if you have some on your own. She is a beautiful cat. I love her so much. And thank you guys for everybody who sent positive thoughts and prayers out, because that's definitely what brought her back, you know? Love to all. Alright, guys.